Good morning, fellow Ambazonians, at home and abroad. If una dey hear my message for Ground Zero, una go probably sit down for house today, dey observe the Independent Day ghost town, when a very crucial pillar for our revolution, a peaceful demonstration for give a chance for all civilian them for stand up, for be counted, say they no want La République du Cameroon again. They want separation and they want outright independence. Today, na number 22 day for the month of March 2021. Na be the Deputy Defense Chief. I don come for can give una some small update for one or two things and for give una some big lessons them who would learn them. Such information them find for limit them only within the system, but you also find for put them out there because some people in the way they see as lone wolf if it go fit help one or two people. The first thing we want bring up for our attention now the fall of Spirito, one of the Ambazonia general them, where he be done there with the sword of Ambazonia, and the subject of some of our outings them from our podcast. When I remember the issue for a Keiko General Divine, most of those forces them where they be start off very, very well. Some of them don't fight with General Ivor. So we know them very, very well for this struggle. They be done can get deals with the local communities where if you don't make them, they don't turn into cocoa protection forces. If we not look their history till the mistake the way they don't make them, where we feel learn from Nasewiti. Some individual them for community, they approach fighters them with the hope say they want make arrangement for give them protection, make them protect them. Some of those farmers them they initially start now out of their commercial interest, but the Cameroon military, their intelligence wing, you don't see this one like a loophole for start approaching commercial people, including farmers, big store them, including people where they sell and distribute brasseries product, for reach out to the Ambazonian forces them within their community for strike a deal for let them for operate and control certain areas in exchange for financial benefit, while at the same time giving a way for those stakeholders to be able to convince those fighters not to engage in any battle that would invite Cameroon military operation in that community that is going to be destabilizing to their business. Many of the fighters of Ground Zero, they will make this mistake for accept bribe for this individual them and then start begin act like protection forces for their commercial interests. While at the beginning, this arrangement it just did like a security arrangement. These agents them they start act on behalf of the Cameroon military for negotiate with those forces them. In many of the cases them they arrange for even allow the forces them for operate even checkpoints, get areas of influence where the Cameroon military no go to disturb them, and them too they no go to disturb the Cameroon military. This boy they be cornered. Sometime they turn into a ton of flesh to those community because those people then they use their leverage for use those same boys them for attack their enemies them and their competitors within village. Those boys they become now like cartels operating on their own. Usually those agents them they advise these boys them for cut off with the leadership we did for the diaspora and any political leadership for the Ambazonian struggle. Encourage them for being alone. This type of advice with the Kiam, it help for accomplish two things for the Cameroon military. For help break any network way for connect all forces them for Ground Zero, as well as make our formation be a dispersed one, full of many groups where it will be attractive for project strength as a nation, as forces of a nation within Ambazonia. Once a force will be very conscious about their environment and the security them, they don't get comfort within this arrangement, they start begin return back to civilian life, eating and drinking amongst villages, thinking they are safe. On several occasions, we don't warn Ambazonian fighters about such manipulation that is going on and the danger that this arrangement will pose on them. During this period that they think they are safe, the Cameroon military will map out their movement, map out their comfort zone, and eventually they will move in to sweep them out and destroy them. We have seen the same thing with Ayeke. We have seen the same thing even with Field Marshal, who actually became a full-time recipient of money from Tasang, Port Tasang. Even in Commando, in Batibo, becoming a full recipient of money from Mbandam and many elites from that environment. Even you go down even to names that we don't want to call. The ADF is not an exception to this case. We have just fight it even more because we have had specialists who have identified this problem. We had problems with brasseries even in Bamenda. Nevertheless, this episode is meant for us to take stock and learn from the mistakes that have led to the death of General Spirito, a brilliant fighter who had volunteered himself but ended up to be killed due to arrangement that he has made and transformed himself from a fighting force for liberation into a cocoa protection force. The same thing have happened with many of the forces in the Atlantic state. One thing the forces have to understand is that La République will never let you carry a gun for the rest of your life. La République will never allow you to control and guarantee commerce for the rest of your life. Just as when they have finished and exhausted using you to accomplish the purpose of projecting weakness, that Ambazonia have so many forces. That is why they will encourage you to remain on your own. Be independent. And sometimes they will even connect you with some village people in the diaspora who are going to come claiming they are representing their Amazonian local government or whatsoever. People also who want to take advantage to project themselves and enjoy some popularity that sometimes this revolution will bring. When they have used you enough to accomplish their purposes, when they have exhausted using you, they will come back and they will take you out like they did with Ayeke. They will even use you to go against your people when they choose to. Use you to go against people that are rival with them in village problems and so on. Forces will get entangled with local issues that have nothing to do with what they set out to accomplish, which is the liberation of our homeland. Spirito eventually died because of such arrangement. After repeatedly, Adam make the same warning for my podcast, months after months, 3 months continually, would I also see say the same thing happen for inside Ginicom, for inside the great state of Boyo, for inside the district of Ginicom. The same La République where they be done arrange as a be done won several times with the forces them for they me them begin operate a pack, operate a roadblocks for the collect money for driver them without carrying operation. This arrangement they be start now with Ndawara. We be put forces them under salary with the initial intention say me them protect a cow. Eventually they then transform those forces them from Ambazonian fighting forces into local forces who just sit there in their camps, drink mimbo and stuff like that. So we have heard the stories what happened in Ginicom, where forces were there drinking mimbo in bars, going to their roadblock, collecting money from drivers as they have been doing for over 2 years. La République came into the scene, killed 6 fighters there in Ginicom. There are people who were in the diaspora claiming to be representing these boys have not told the Ambazonian people who come in just to take advantage. They don't spend time to study, take warnings seriously, help to motivate the boys and make sure that they are in a formation that is not only going to protect their life, but make it effective for them to fight for what they have sacrificed their life for. So I did send out this message for any force from Ambazonia where they on the ground. If they don't make any arrangement, if they don't convince you, say by you sitting down and not fighting, somehow you are safe and you will not attack, my brother, my sister, wake up. It is a doggy war. We are in the middle of a war. La République is on the hunt and you are the target. Don't be deceived. Better die while fighting than to sit there and die with money in your pocket and a beer in front of your table. And don't listen to such business people who want to keep you isolated. Don't listen to those in the diaspora who want to keep you isolated for their own political benefit or whatever type of agenda they seek. I'm even putting out this warning, including for Grandpa for Bali. Think about your village people them, where they try to help you, where they insist, say me you be independent. All forces them, where they insist for now. Make gonna be only by una self. Make gonna be only by una self. You know if you fight a war for independence without aligning yourself with credible organization that will transform your action into political gain. If you are aligning yourself with any political faction, make sure you make your research and believe in them that they are doing the right thing for you to attain the goal for which you have set yourself to accomplish for your people at the expense of your life, likely. Don't allow people to manipulate you. People who will not even have the decency to cry for your die or to honor your memory. Think before you act. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also send the video we have seen coming from Ground Zero of a contingent of Cameroon military occupation forces breaking through one of our barriers on the ground. Wait till we una fit learn as we don't learn from that video. Now the same thing will be done the talk. The Cameroon military, when they come inside the armored car, they no fit come off for road. They no fit come out of the road for follow any person. They shoot gun for scare people them. They fight them because themselves they fear. We now learn from the ADF operation where it take place for inside Bui, where we ambush one of their armored vehicles at close range. We now remember how they lesson them for all guerrilla fighters. Dig trenches, they in between two hills, where if you protect yourself from fire from that the armored car. Na so Vietnam they be win America. Be patient, plan before you operate. Make sure you get a safe passage for run come back. You get backup for protect you against incoming fire. We got to put out more educational materials out there for any force will be isolated or be on its own or any lone wolf for them for benefit for the structure and the institution will get them for the Ambazonia Defense Forces. We wanna stay and at alert. We do also want to thank the Ambazonia Akamanso for the big operation we then carry on for Tinto, and the information they see come slowly because we lost a fighter where he be held from the great state of Lebialem inside that operation, and it will be a successful mission. Details from the War Council will be made available to the public as soon as possible. God bless you now. May our revolution and our liberation war be short. May our independence, freedom, democracy in Ambazonia be forever.